The difference between conspiracy and conspiracy theory. Conspiracy is when two or more groups, organizations, or individuals come together to do something that is evil and or wicked. It is planned to do something evil or wicked. That's a conspiracy. The United States government assassinating foreign leaders. Those are conspiracies. The CIA tracking our leaders. The FBI assassinating and murdering our leaders. Those are conspiracies. Those are government entities, individuals, and groups coming together to plan and do things that are evil and wicked. Those are conspiracies. Conspiracies are real. Conspiracies exist. Once you add theory, which modifies the definition of the word conspiracy, theory, which means it's a possibility of what if I'm not certain of. Once you toss in a theory, it's something you are not too certain about. You don't have necessarily the facts to back it up. You don't necessarily have the proof nor the documentation to show and prove that this is what you're saying it is. This was a conspiracy, not a theory, an absolute conspiracy. Documented, well publicized, well activated, acted upon, well executed conspiracy between the FDA, NIH, HHS, CDC, the White House, Department of Defense, Department of Education, Department of Agriculture, you name it. It was a well-planned, thought out conspiracy, and all of those who were involved at the top knew what they were doing. It was a conspiracy. That's a fact, not a theory. Just wanted to make sure we clear that up so people can stop saying conspiracy theory, theory, theory. Conspiracies are real, and that's what this was. On the CDC's website, they had an article titled Zombie Preparedness. Do y'all remember this? Do y'all remember how the CDC had they had an article that said zombie preparedness. They were saying, no, it has nothing to do with actual zombies. It only has to do with a situation where, you have to prepare for famine or anything like that, or emergency situations. Why would you put zombie preparedness out of all the things? Then they came out a few months after that and said that diggers have unearthed an ancient virus, zombie virus, that is 50,000 years old. Okay, I'm gonna just tell you this. Again, at this point, it's like, we need to stop listening to this government because they're trolling the hell out of us. Before that, if you go back even further, before Event 201 in 2019, you had a situation in 2017 where Mr. Anthony Fauci, one of the biggest criminals in the world, opened his mouth at a conference. 2017. He said very soon in the near future, not maybe, not if, not possibly, but we will have a pandemic.
There will be a surprise outbreak. Given, as you heard from the introduction, that I have been around for a while and have had the opportunity and the privilege and the pleasure of serving in 5 administrations, I thought I would bring that perspective to the topic today, is the issue of pandemic preparedness. And if there's one message that I want to leave with you today, based on my experience, and you'll see that in a moment, is that there is no question that there will be a challenge to the coming administration in the arena of infectious diseases, both chronic infectious diseases in the sense of already ongoing disease, and we have certainly a large burden of that, but also there will be a surprise outbreak. And I hope by the end of my relatively short presentation, you will understand why the history of the last 32 years that I've been the director of NIAID will tell the next administration that there's no doubt in anyone's mind that they will be faced with the challenges that their predecessors were faced with.
We will have an outbreak. He said, not maybe, but certainly. This little evil man, how do you know? 2017, Mr. Fauci, all of a sudden you just came out with that and you just said, we knew. How do you know? Because you got the damn receipt. It turned out years later that Anthony Fauci knew because of emails that were obtained through a Freedom of Information Act request that he knew of gain-of-function research that was being funded by the United States government through certain organizations to the Wuhan lab of China. They were funding this. These people, these are some evil, wicked people.